even the small, like those who are not political per se, like Adin Ross, for example, yeah, and him saying free Palestine. I think that, and maybe Duran can attest to that or add to that, I think that it harms because they're saying it just to say it, just for to virtue signal, I think.
Yeah, and that's true. And I think it's harmful. But again, I think that I think that Israel needs to understand, because I think that the far right neo-Nazi people and I think Israel both dramatically overestimated why Jews were popular in the West and had way more to do with the story than with any propaganda. I think part of it was intentional via the Soviet Union, training countries how to speak the language of propaganda. Palestinians speak the language of the West so well. And Israelis are mute. They cannot communicate their ideas to the West. The most effective piece of propaganda that was made for Israel in the current conflict came from Hamas. And it was the video of that woman in the back of the truck. That was a Hamas video. They're so good at, when something gets bombed, picking up a headless baby, shaking in front of a camera and, making content out of this. They're really, really good at it. And meanwhile, you guys put together, this 47-minute video of footage that hasn't been released to the public of all the crazy shit that happened.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy.
Released. It's just shown to members of the Knesset. If you go there in your media, you can, get access and watch the video. But it's like, the fuck, yeah. So that it's a problem, regardless of how you feel in the conflict. Yeah, Palestinians and their movement is fluent in the language of the West, and Israel cannot communicate their ideas very well. And that's why you get, I think, as a virtue signal, like, not to sound mean, but like, who's going to say like, yeah, like Israel against the Palestinians? Like, well, that doesn't feel very good, as opposed to free Palestine, like the Palestinian underdogs, fight. It's easier to sell intuitively immediately to somebody. 100%. Yeah.